For the second tutorial on using the West Point Bridge Designer, we're going to be making your suspension bridge. So when you open up your program, the West Point Bridge Designer 2007, you'll want to make sure you create a new bridge design and click OK. You're going to go through some of these screens and set up your project just like the first one. So we're going to skip to the third screen here, and we're going to be making a suspension bridge at 20 meters. So for the deck elevation, make sure you change this to 20 meters instead of 24 or any other number. You're going to leave the abutments the way they are. You're going to just make sure you have standard abutments, and you're not going to have any piers. What you will need is 2 cable anchorages, and if you notice on this view here, it shows 2 little circles, and that's where your cables for the suspension bridge get anchored into the ground to hold up the bridge. So we're going to click next again, and we want to make sure we have suspension bridge selected for your template. Click next, design by, again, your last names and project ID should be a number 2. Next, and then finish. And we'll go through just like you did on the first one. We'll put in our joints first, and we'll need to put in ones above and below the bridge on this design. So we'll put those in. Remember, the ones along the roadway don't need to go in because they're already installed. And then we'll put in our members. Remember that the members should be short pieces, not one big long piece to connect all of the joints. So we'll put all these in first. Once we do this, then we'll test the bridge and make sure it works. Now this bridge is going to be a little different when we make it, because we're not only going to change the size of the members, we're also going to need to make them solid or hollow pieces. And I'll be showing you that here in just a moment. So once we get our bridge made, we'll test it, make sure it works, and we have our big long columns here that need to get fixed. And these 2 pieces are the ones that hold up most of the weight of the bridge. All the weight goes from these cables that hang down, and they go right into these towers here, like the Golden Gate Bridge, the big towers that come up. All the weight of the bridge is held by these towers, so those need to be pretty big. So we're going to make them really big, make sure they work. We can make them smaller later. Okay, so our bridge works. We have a whole bunch of light colors, so we're good to start. So the first thing I would do is do like you did the first bridge. Go in and start changing the sizes of the pieces first before we do the other stuff we're going to need to do with this bridge. So we don't want to make pieces too extremely small. Okay, so we'll go in, we'll change these pieces, we'll make them smaller. I'm not going to do the whole bridge because that would take forever, but I'm just going to do a little bit, show you what you should be doing. So just like you did the first one, same way, go in, make pieces smaller. So let's say we've been working a while and these pieces are starting to get dark. These color-coded pieces mean something. The blue and the red mean certain things. So in class we should have discussed this. The blue pieces, those are being pulled. Those pieces are like tug of war. Okay, these are cables on the bridge. These going down are cables, so they're being pulled like tug of war, like a rope. The pieces that are red, those are being pushed together, smashed. So the weight of this cable is going up and being attached to the top of this tower, and that weight is pushing the tower down into the ground. So it's being squashed, it's being pushed. So that's compression. So we have tension being pulled, the blue, and we have compression here, red pieces. The red pieces, you can change those pieces and make those hollow pieces. And think of a hollow piece like a straw. And that's going to make the price of your bridge go down. So these two towers are being compressed. So I can go in up here and I can pick either solid or hollow. And I'm going to pick those and make those hollow. Now if we make them hollow, you'll notice the price is going to go down. So solid, 453,000, and we have hollow tube, which makes it 397,000. Now what you'll need to do is you're going to need to make these pieces that are hollow bigger. Yes, the price is going to go up a little bit, but overall the price will be lower than if you left them solid. So if we leave them the same size, if we don't change the size, they're going to fall apart. So now they don't work, whereas before they did. So we're going to need to go in and make these guys bigger. So I'm going to make them 360. Okay, now the price is still lower. The bridge works now. So by making your pieces hollow that are red, that are being compressed, being pushed together, your bridge is going to work better than if we just left them solid and made them smaller. Now the pieces that are blue, you cannot make hollow, because think of them as ropes. Ropes don't have a hole going through the middle of them. So we can't do that with this bridge, or any bridge. So these pieces that are blue always have to be solid. We don't want to make those hollow. So when you test your bridge, you want to check the colors, make sure you're making the red pieces hollow, the blue pieces solid. So all these pieces going across the top, all these pieces going down here, all those that are like cables are all ones we want to keep solid. Now along the bottom, underneath the roadway, we have some pieces that are red. So all these going across could possibly be hollow. Now, not all the red pieces need to be hollow, they just can be changed to hollow. But for us, the best thing to do is probably make them all hollow, so that you get the price down. So look at the pieces. If they're pink or red, any kind of reddish looking color, those you can make hollow. Any bluish looking pieces, always solid. So all these along the roadway we can make into a hollow piece and make them a little bit bigger. So they work. So notice now the pieces, they get a little darker. They're a little bit more reddish when that truck drives across. Some of these here in the middle, you probably don't want to make smaller. These guys here on the ends, they're still pretty light. Those you can go in and mess with. So on this bridge, all you're doing is you're changing the size and you're changing the kind of bar that you're using to assemble your bridge with. So you're either using solid or using hollow pieces. So you're just adding one new element to designing this bridge. If you have any questions, please see your instructor. And you want to make sure that while you're working, that you're always saving your work as you're going through. So if your price is going down and you're doing what you need to do, save it often. So in case something happens and your program goes out, it closes, something happens, you have your file saved. So don't wait till the end to save your file, and make sure you're saving it to the right place.